2024 SEC Media Days started today. Brian Kelly took the podium up first. He took up about 10 o'clock in the morning. And we're just going to do a short video about just a question that he had. So this is Tiger Den Sports. I'm your host, Jason Dorsey, also known as the Blind Tiger. So y'all hit the subscribe button, and y'all can find me over at X at Tiger Den Sports. So y'all do me a favor, hit the subscribe button right now, and we'll get into the video. It's going to be a little short video just talking about this one question that he had. Also, y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about SEC Media Days. I love SEC Media Days. It means the season's getting closer, and this is one of the best days of the year. Besides, opening day of college football, SEC Media Days are pretty much up next. Behind anniversaries, kids being born, kids' birthdays, things like that. But SEC Media Days are a very good day because that means college football is getting closer. But one of the questions Brian Kelly had today, I think it was from an Oklahoma media member, and he asked Brian Kelly how would he address the replacing Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors, 1,000-yard receivers this year. And Brian Kelly had a really good answer, I believe anyway. Brian Kelly said that he loves this receiver room. Got a lot of depth, and you can't really replace Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors with just one receiver. Because you think about it: Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, they were 1,000-yard receiving duo. They combined for over 2,000 yards combined. You can't really replace that kind of production with one receiver. Now, you might have a surprise like a Kyron Lacy who goes off this year. He's a veteran. I believe this is going to be his third year at LSU, fifth year overall, I believe, in college. So he could have a breakout year and have 1,000 yards himself, 1,200 yards receiving. But Brian Kelly did say that it does start with Kyron Lacy. And for all the things I just said about him, that's what Brian Kelly is thinking. Then he mentioned Chris Hilton. Chris Hilton, he said, can take the top off of defense, track the ball in the air. He got a lot of great speed. So that's going to be your speed threat. Kyron Lacy is going to be more of your possession receiver, break tackles. I don't think he's a burner, but Kyron Lacy is going to do his thing with possession as a possession receiver. Chris Hilton is going to be the one that takes the top off the defense, like Brian Kelly said. I believe this is going to be Chris Hilton's best year yet. I believe he's probably going to be number 2 receiver behind Kyron Lacy. But that's my thinking. Y'all let me know what your thoughts are. Y'all can let me know the receiver order y'all think. Who would be number 1, 2, and 3? Who's going to play slot? Y'all let me know in the comments. But anyway, so Kyron Lacy is going to be your possession probably. Chris Hilton is going to be your speed threat down the field. That's what Brian Kelly was saying today at the podium. But I also heard about Chris Hilton that he's working harder on intermediate routes, route running. So if that's the case, and if that's true from what I'm hearing, then that's going to help Chris Hilton tremendously, because not only will the defense have to guard him as a deep threat, he can do 5-yard slant, in route, all these little short routes, catch it and run because the defense don't know what's coming. So if he can do that, like Brian Kelly is probably thinking, he's going to have a big year. And Brian Kelly also mentioned the newcomer from the transfer portal from Liberty, C.J. Daniels. Now, if y'all know me, I I am blind, okay? So I can't really watch film. I can't really tell you his game by watching it. I have to hear people say it. But CJ Daniels was a 1,000 yard receiver at Liberty. So if he can do 1,000 yard receiving at Liberty, just think what he's going to do at LSU with Garrett Nussmeier as quarterback. I think CJ Daniels is going to have close to 1,000 yards this year. Now, I can't tell you if he's a deep threat, can't tell you if he's a possession receiver. I can't tell you any of that because I haven't watched film. All I know is he has great hands, um, great receiver, and I believe Brian Kelly mentioned at the podium today that CJ Daniels is probably going to play slot, a slot receiver. Um, I believe CJ Daniels is like 6'1", 200 pounds, 205, something like that. So, um, pretty good size receiver. So, like Brian Kelly said, there's 6 to 8 receivers here on LSU that he can probably depend on. He also mentioned Xavier Thomas. I think he called him Zion Thomas. I don't know if that's his nickname or or maybe he misspoke. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. We knew who he was talking about. Um, and he mentioned Xavier Thomas that he's a great receiver too, coming over from Mississippi State. He had a little over 500, maybe close to 600 yards receiving at Mississippi State, which was a horrible offense. They ran the ball, I don't know, 75, 80% of the time. I mean, um, with the new coach they had, I don't even remember his name they had. But anyway, y'all let me know in the comments what the Mississippi State coach's name was. Um, I really don't remember. But anyway, um, but Mississippi State couldn't throw the ball very well. So coming over to LSU with Xavier Thomas, he's probably going to take over, I believe, with that the Aaron Anderson role, because Aaron Ray Anderson and Xavier Thomas is basically the same type of receiver. They're going to catch you screen passes, quick slants, and try to take it to the house. Um, so, I mean, you can probably do a gadget play with both of them on the field at the same time on each side of the field, and that's going to be hard to guard. Um, At least that's my thinking. I hope that's what Brian Kelly and Cortez Hankton and Joe Sloan's thinking as well. You can do a lot of gadget plays with those two receivers. So that's just 4 receivers right there that I just mentioned with Kyron Lacy, Chris Hilton, CJ Daniels, Xavier Thomas, Aaron Anderson. That's 5. 4, yeah, whatever. But I mean, the other ones you got Shelton Sampson that came back. Um, You got Kyle Parker, Landon Ibieta that you didn't see much of because he was hurt. Kyle Parker didn't see the field too much either as a freshman. So that's the guys he's talking about. Shelton Sampson had a drops last year. Can he turn it around as well? So that's what Brian Kelly had to say today about the wide receiver room, and he loves the depth. Um, I'm going to have more videos coming, just short videos talking about probably one thing at a time. I'm not going to do these 30-minute to an hour podcasts like all the other LSU podcasters. I'm going to get to the point, tell you what I hear, tell you what I know, and we'll leave it at that. That way, you're not having to watch a 30-minute stream to get your answers. So, yeah, subscribe up to the channel, hit the like button as well, share this out to all the media groups, Facebook groups, and follow me over on X at Tigerden Sports. Thank y'all for watching. All right, Crystal. Probably 10 minutes. Yeah, exactly 10 minutes.